Hello children, welcome to the second online session today. In the previous session we discussed transportation system in plants. Today we will begin with transport of food and minerals in animals. You all know that multicellular organisms need proper transport system so that the essential things can be moved from one place to the other and the waste material can be removed from the body. Now, in case of unicellular organisms like amoeba, paramecium, what happens? They don't need a proper transport system since they are unicellular. So, the removal of waste and intake of useful things can be done through their cell surface by means of diffusion. But in case of multicellular organisms, they need a proper transportation system. Here we will focus on the human circulatory system. Now, what is the main function of human circulatory system? To provide essential nutrients, minerals and hormones to various parts of the body. It also collects metabolic waste and toxins from the cells for further purification or excretion. So, what is the circulatory system doing? It is transporting essential things to the target area and collecting all the waste so that either in some cases it is purified and in other cases it is removed from the body, excreted out. So our circulatory system consists of blood, then blood vessels and heart. Blood flows through a network of tubes called blood vessels, and blood is pumped to every part of the body by the heart. We must know the quantity of blood present in a healthy human being. It is 5 to 6 liters. Now, blood has two components, the fluid component and cellular component. Fluid component comprises of plasma, blood plasma. So it is basically the liquid component in which all the cellular components are suspended, all the cells are found. So, and what is the composition of plasma? Basically, it contains water. You see, it's written, it contains 90% water. Apart from that, it will have some proteins, ions, nutrients, everything. If you separate blood plasma from the cellular component, you will find that it is pale yellow in color and it constitutes 55% of total blood. The main function is to carry water and other materials from one part of the body to another. Now, moving on to the cellular components. First type of cell which we will discuss is red blood cell, RBC. The other name for RBC is erythrocytes. They are disc shaped, they are very small in size. Average lifespan of one RBC is 120 days. Why do we call them red blood cells? Obviously because they are red in color. And why are they red? Because they have a red pigment called hemoglobin. Why hemoglobin is there? Hemoglobin acts as a carrier. It carries oxygen from lungs to all the cells of the body, and it can also carry carbon dioxide from different cells of the body, bring it back to the lungs. RBCs are produced in the bone marrow. Next type of cell is white blood cell, WBCs. The other name for WBCs is leukocyte. It is colorless, irregular in shape. They are very few in number, but size is bigger as compared to RBCs. Lifespan may vary from few hours to several years, and the main function of WBC is to fight against germs that enter our body. Some white blood cells, they make proteins known as antibodies to fight against germs. Now, there are different types of white blood cells. Broadly, you can classify them into two types: granulocytes and agranulocytes. As the name suggests, granulocytes means these specialized white blood cells, they will have visible granules in their cytoplasm. So the cytoplasm is granular. And in case of agranulocytes, cytoplasm do not have any granules. Granulocytes are further divided into three types: neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. And agranulocytes are of two types: lymphocytes and monocytes. Basically, white blood cells, they are a part of our immune system. They protect our body against various diseases. You can see the different types of WBCs here: monocyte, lymphocyte, basophil, eosinophil, and neutrophil. The last cellular component which we will be discussing, platelets. The other name for platelets is thrombocytes. They are also colorless, round and tiny fragments of special cells formed in bone marrow. Size is smaller as compared to WBC and RBC. Lifespan 8 to 14 days, and its main role is in blood clotting. Moving on towards functions of blood. By now it is almost clear that what is the role of blood. As it is the part of our circulatory system, so it is acting as a medium for essential things so that they can move from one place to the other in our body. So it carries oxygen from lungs to all cells of the body, and as I told you earlier, it carries carbon dioxide also from body cells to the lungs for exhalation so that we can breathe it out. It carries digested food from small intestine to all cells of the body. Carries urea from liver to kidney for excretion. Kills the germs that enter our body. Carries hormones from endocrine glands to different organs of the body. So with this we come to an end. We will be discussing about antigen, antibodies, blood transfusion, and human circulatory system further in detail. I hope the topics which I have covered today are clear to you. Please read the chapter thoroughly. Again, I would say enjoy learning. Thank you.